I remember after seeing episode 7, I had so many theories going through my head. I was like, oh man, this is what's gonna happen. I was like, Rey is up there. She's talking to Luke. She's got the lightsaber out. In the faraway shot, you see like a tombstone behind Luke. I'm like, that's his wife, man. Fucking Kylo, when he went bad, killed all the students, killed Mara Jade, and Rey was a little kid, and then Luke sent her off to another planet to protect her from Kylo Ren, so Kylo Ren wouldn't go hunt her down, and then he went into hiding. I had this whole storyline, right? I'm like, it wasn't going to be the twins, it was going to be cousin versus cousin, right? I'm like, it's going to be about fucking Rey versus Kylo, like the two cousins, the two Skywalkers. You know, I had this whole storyline, because you look at Force Awakens, when Rey's handing Luke Force Awakens, when Rey's handing Luke the lightsaber, like, Luke has tears in his eyes. He's looking at her and he's just got tears in his eyes. I'm like, man, that's because he saw his daughter for the first time, man. Like, he like, clearly there's a tombstone, because there's like these set of rocks, and then there's another like oval-shaped rock standing up, and it looks like a tombstone from. Go back and look at the end of Force Awakens, and look like right behind Luke's legs, right? And they do this thing. And then we get Last Jedi, and I will still defend that movie. I think it's a very well-made movie. You take out the Canto Bite shit, it's a very well-made movie. And then, what did they do? They completely fuck over that damn storyline. It's like, Luke sealed himself off from the Force, which is fine. I get that part. But the clothes he was wearing is clothes that he wears only when he decides to try to set the tree on fire. He was about to set the tree on fire before Rey showed up, and it was this whole thing. You really get more exposition in the novelization, and it's so crazy. But they really went away from the Rey thing. Can you believe we are 2 movies in and we don't know a goddamn thing about Rey? I was sitting there thinking about that today, right? Like, let's look. I really want to do a separate video on this. Let's look at Luke Skywalker. We're going to judge it just on the first movie, okay? In A New Hope, right? We find out Luke Skywalker's a farm boy on Tatooine. He's with his uncle and Aunt Peru. They're moisture farmers. We find out that his father was a Jedi Knight who died in the Clone War, or was in the Clone Wars, and a Sith Lord by the name of Darth Vader betrayed and murdered Anakin Skywalker, and that his father had a lightsaber that he wanted to give to Luke when he was old enough, but his uncle wouldn't allow it. And it was a boy that dreamed of being something more and looking out in space, and he wanted to go to the academy. Look, that's all in the first half of the movie, and we get all this exposition. Now let's look at Rey from Force Awakens. And by the way, I do like these movies, right? Let's look at Rey. She's on Jakku. Her parents left her. She's living by herself ever since. That's it. Force Awakens or Last Jedi. Okay. Now, that's all we get from Rey in the first movie. She was left on Jakku. Her parents left her. That's all we got. In the first half, I told you everything about Luke Skywalker. We know who that character is in that first half of that movie. Then he goes and blows up the Death Star, and then he ends up being something more. Okay? Rey, she starts to unlock Force powers, fine. We still don't know anything about her. Right? In the first half of the movie, we know that Luke's dad was a Jedi. He fought in the Clone Wars. That Obi-Wan's apprentice before turning evil was Darth Vader that murdered Anakin. Granted, they elaborate more on the story. Then we find out Darth Vader's, something. But we know backstory of these characters. We know where Luke comes from. We know, Rey, we don't know anything about her. We don't know her birthday. We don't know her favorite color. We don't know anything. It's like, she was on Jakku. Her parents left her. Like, okay, all right. That's okay. Last Jedi, they're going to explain more. She's on an island. Luke won't talk to her. She Force Skypes with Kylo. Her parents are nobody. Her parents are filthy junk traders that sold her off for drinking money. Okay. 2 movies, and you still haven't even told us what's going on with this girl. We know almost everything about Luke Skywalker in the first hour of the first movie. We had 2 movies with Rey, and we still don't know jack shit other than she was left on Jakku and her parents are now filthy junk traders. That's it. Okay? Then we get the Empire Strikes Back, and we expand more. We find out that Darth Vader was really Luke's father. That Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker. It expands on the character. Then in Return of the Jedi, we find out that there was twins. In order to save the twins from the Emperor and Vader, they were separated, and it was Leia. So in 2 movies, it kills me. It honestly does. As someone who is a fan of Force Awakens and Last Jedi and have defended it millions of times because I like them, they had no fucking idea what the fuck they were doing with that goddamn trilogy. And it pisses me off. How the fuck did in the first 40 minutes we have all this exposition on who Luke Skywalker is, where he came from, what's his dreams, what's his ambitions. We go to Rey and we don't know a goddamn fucking thing. And it's been 2 goddamn fucking movies. Come the fuck on. And now they want to throw this fucking shit about fucking Shmi Skywalker. Come on. I am one of the biggest Star Wars fans out there. I will defend Last Jedi and Force Awakens with my dying breath. Because I think what people are bitching about isn't what's important. Right? It's just, when you look at Rey, and Rey's the main character, she had no character development. Let's not shit ourselves, guys. The main character of this new trilogy isn't Rey. It's Kylo. Because I can take that same premise, what I did with Luke Skywalker comparing her to Rey, I can take the same premise and compare Luke Skywalker to Kylo, and we have a story then. Then we can look at him and be like, look at Luke Skywalker. First 40 minutes, we find out that his father fought in the Clone Wars. He was a former Jedi Knight. He was murdered by Darth Vader. Look at Kylo. Kylo is the son of Han and Leia. He turned to the dark side. He betrayed Luke Skywalker. He was seduced by Snoke. Han and Leia split up after Ben turned to the dark side. He murdered a bunch of Luke's students. He turned to the evil. We know more about Kylo Ren, like what his struggles were, why he became the way he has, what's his goal. We understand. Let's not shit ourselves. Kylo is the main character of this new fucking trilogy, not Rey. Not Rey. It has been 2 fucking movies. 5, because each movie is about 2.5 hours, right? About 5 hours, and we learn more about Luke in 40 minutes than we know with 5 hours of fucking Rey. That pisses me off. That pisses me off. So, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I had to let that out, man. It's been bothering me. I've been thinking about it for the past few days. I'm like, what is the purpose of this trilogy when we know nothing about your main character? Like, I'm not sitting there saying her dad had to be Luke. I'm not sitting there saying her dad had to be Han. Her parents could have been filthy junk traders. That's fine. I don't care. But she had no character development. Other than her getting off Jakku, joining the Resistance, and trying to learn her Force powers, we don't know what her motivation is. We don't know what she wants in life. We don't understand her way of thinking. We don't understand anything. It's just, she's here, she's strong, she wants Kylo to turn to the light side, he doesn't want to, they fight, that's it. We don't know anything about her. We know what Luke wants. He has an eye for adventure. He wants to go out there, he wants to do more. He wants to be like his father. He wants to be a Jedi Knight like his father. He says it in the throne room in Return of the Jedi. When the Emperor wants him to fight Darth Vader, he's like, no. He throws his lightsaber down. He's like, no, I won't fight him. You failed, Your Highness. I'm a Jedi Knight like my father before me. Jesus God. I am so fucking pissed right now, man. I am just pissing myself off even more. Jesus Christ, man. Oh.